Now, before I even heard about Joshua, I had already started preparing. And I think I mentioned on one of my videos that I was gathering things together because I felt like something was coming. And not that I felt like something was coming, it's just that the dreams that were coming to me were very strong. And especially when I spoke about this massive tsunami and me running across a bridge and I'm trying to wave this woman that just looked like some type of charter boat or something like that. And I'm waving at her, trying to get her to stop. And as I'm waving, there's a crowd of people running behind me. But then there's a wall of water behind us. And it's during the daytime. And as I'm running across this bridge, trying to wave at this woman, trying to get her to, she was just docking the boat. But as I see this in my dream, I as soon as I make it to the boat, the woman had already, before I made it to the boat, the woman had already stepped back up on her boat, and she started to pull the boat off, and then that's when I stepped on the boat, and the scene changed, and then the next thing you know, I'm in some type of charter, some kind of bus, like a bus that will take you from your car to the airport. I mean, or whatever. And it's like that's what I stepped on a bus like that. And when the scene changed from me stepping on a boat to me being on some type of van or some type of vehicle that carries passengers, it seemed like something that was coming, like you would travel from an airport. You take this bus to your car. So as I got on this, as I'm on this bus, this man is talking about how he adopted a child and it wasn't his child. I mean, he adopted a child, but the child that he adopted was not the child he adopted, so he was kind of upset about it. So then when we got where we were going, it was like a residential place, but it was like a one-story flat, and I could see some of the windows had blinds where light was coming from, and in some windows there was no lights coming from it, but you could tell it was residential. When I got out of this vehicle or bus or whatever it is, it was nighttime, and it started, and I heard rumbling. So I look up over the vehicle that I just got out of, and that wall of water was still coming. The beginning, it was daylight. When we got where we got, it was nighttime. So I started running down the street, and then when I got to a crossroad, the road I was on ended, and you can either go left or right. And before I could make a decision, I was pushed through the gate and pushed downward. So the thing about this dream is that it's going to extend. It's not going to just be in one specific area. It's going to go throughout, so which means it's going to go from day to night. It's going to go from day to night, so which means it's going to, I believe that was the rapture, to be honest with you, because when I was pushed downward, that was the snatching away. I could have been just pushed outward and continue going outward, but that wasn't what the case was. I was pushed downward, so basically like I was snatched away from the current that was going that way. I was going to fight it, but I decided not to fight the current and go back up. So something just said, let it go. And so I let it go, and then before I knew it, I blacked out and I woke up right here. I'm saying that because we all receive information that would indicate things to come. So I had already started preparing. I started getting, kind of like a dugout bag. I started preparing stuff, started getting things together, because I knew things were coming because of what you see happening over there, and especially with the red heifer and all this other stuff. I started preparing since then. And one of my things that when I was in Satan's kingdom, and I was, speaking with some of the young men in there, is like, be watchful, and that's what I am. I'm a watchman. I watch for, events. I'm always looking. I'm always seeing what's going on around the world, and before this is before I watched Joshua. Now, when I first watched Joshua, if you cannot see that the Holy Spirit was around him, if you could not see and feel that energy that was coming from not just him, but he said that this last video I just watched, the 4th video with the said twins, he said that Yeshua, when they were doing this video, he was downstairs on the first video walking around. This was the very first video that I watched. I didn't watch any other ones, and I just watched this last one that he did, the 4th one. But the first one was the one I watched. The first one was sent to me. And at this point, the very first one, I felt a pull toward him. I felt a pull toward his message. And it wasn't so much of him, it was so much of Yeshua being in the presence of what was he, being in the presence of him, but not in the presence of him, but in the presence of that studio. And by him being on the bottom studio, walking around, because he said in this last video that he can feel the spirits. He can know when evil spirits are around. He can know when there's good spirits around. He recognizes Joshua energy, and he knows Joshua's voice. So the very first video is when I was drawn to what he was saying, and I can feel the connection. I just couldn't figure out what it was. But once I watched the video last night, that's when I said, oh, okay, now I see. That's why I felt it, because Yeshua was there in the bottom studio. They were on the top studio. He was on the bottom studio walking around. And if you were someone who was watching Joshua as he was doing this interview, if I felt it and you felt it, then you felt the Holy Spirit. You felt what many people around the world felt. There are no one that's going to be caught unaware. Let me say that again. There will be no one caught unaware. And the reason why I say this is because Joshua put out the message. Even the mockers and scoffers, they will be aware of what's going on and what happened. There won't be anyone that will not know what's happening. Everyone's going to know what's happening. No one will be caught unaware. They just going to be caught unprepared. That's what's going to happen. There'll be those that'll be caught unprepared. There'll be those that just will not believe in the things that are going to happen. There will be people that excuse my theory, but they think that the rapture is Pinocchio. They think that it's the seven dwarves and Snow White. They think it's Peter Pan. That's what they think about the rapture. They don't actually really believe that it's real. They don't really actually believe that they will be harponzoed off this earth. They don't actually believe that it is real. And the reason why I say that, because if they don't believe that it's real, let me put it to you like this. If the unseen is real and tangible, what makes you think that the rapture won't be real? If the unseen is tangible, what makes you think the rapture is not real? I'll tell you, I know it's real, and I know the unseen is real, because I knew when I was first coming into learning about awareness around my ancestors and things like that. And I'm sitting there meditating, and then I feel this bump on the bed. And I said, do it again. And they did it again. What makes you think, if the unseen is real, what makes you believe in your mind that the rapture is not? Miraculous things happen all the time. What makes you believe that that's not real? What makes you think it's Pinocchio? What makes you think it's the seven dwarves and Snow White? What makes you think the rapture is not real? It's a fairy tale. You are going to be shocked when it happens. I promise you that you're going to be shocked when it happens. And when it happens, you're going to fall on your knees, and it's going to be too late. Because you don't believe. You're supposed to believe in the Pinocchio. You're supposed to believe in the seven dwarves and Snow White. You're supposed to believe in Peter Pan. You're supposed to believe in Superman and Batman and all these other people. They make it out to not believe, but these are actually heroes that are really here on earth. They take it to Walt Disney so you don't believe. Don't you get that? So what makes you believe that you cannot be harponzoed out of here, snatched away? I've seen snatched away twice, or more than twice, but here recently, a tow truck and a tsunami. So what makes you think that it's not going to happen? You won't be caught unaware. You will just be caught with your pants at your ankles. And because you don't have a childlike disposition. I'm nobody. I'm nobody. Like I said, I'm just someone that the Holy Spirit uses. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a prophet. I'm just someone who that the Holy Spirit speaks to. I'm just someone that is just a willing vessel for the Holy Spirit. I started preparing a lot of things, especially when 2023 came and I was still here. That day I broke down so bad. I was crying so bad. But I wasn't going to let it get to me. And I didn't blame Joshua, because I went to the Holy Spirit about Joshua. I went to the Holy Spirit like many of us. Nobody just takes someone's word for it. They go to the Holy Spirit and ask. And the Holy Spirit said it was true. And I started preparing. And getting things together, because I know there's many people that are not going to make it. And I know for sure my friend's not going to make it. So I started getting water together for her so she can flush the toilet. I pulled out unscented candles and put them around so she'd have them, because she's a non-believer. And this is the reason why I had to dream about the child coming to me. Well, not so much coming to me, but when I did stick my hand down the black hole, pull this child up out of that black hole, and it said, "Come with me, we can go into the holy city." I knew this was my snatching away from here, from the situation I'm in. But not only that, just from this world completely. Because the New Jerusalem is not on earth. So this is why I started preparing, getting things together. I grabbed big jugs of water. I asked the Spirit and everything. Should I do this? Should I do that? I got candles. I got all this other stuff. I prepared the book that needs to be left behind. I have a King James Bible study guide that I'm going to put with that book. So I'm preparing for others that's going to have something and not going to know what to do. So that's what you have to do, is prepare, stocking up for food, because there's going to be people going to be looting, breaking into people's houses, they're going to see all this different stuff. But then there are going to be people that are going to come by in the aftermath of going through these empty houses with no one in them, scrounging around for any type of information that they can find. And Bibles and things like that is going to be scarce. It's going to get to the point they're going to take them. Everything has to do with Israel. Everything. The red heifer. All these things, man. All of it. The weather. The sun. Coronal mass after coronal mass ejections. The 7 comets. It's all there. In front of your face. It's all written in Revelations. Everything is there. What I'm saying is get your houses in order. Get yourself right. Do what you have to do and ask for forgiveness for all those that you have wronged. Even forgive yourself. Learn how to love each other like you love yourself. Because once this rapture happens, there's no more love in the world. I believe that there will be the 144 that will be left on the world. But you're going to have to find these groups wherever you are. I hear one guy saying something about people that should travel to, if you can, travel to Israel. But even that's sketchy, because that's where the Antichrist is supposed to be. But I don't expect my thing to go mainstream or viral. I'm just trying to reach as many as I can to let you know that this rapture is going to happen. Whether Joshua said anything or not. Because I had told you already that there is a major storm coming. I've even told you I was called up from this room and I went through the ceiling and I knew that I had astral traveled. Because when the lightning in the etheric realm, in the spirit realm, and also lightning right here in the third physical realm. So at that point I knew that I had traveled and I was called up. And it being pointed out to a storm that was coming. And I seen lightning coming from black clouds from the distance. And I was told to have faith. And trust. So this is how I knew that something was coming. I knew it from the day that I had the dream of a tsunami. In this case, it may not be the pale white horse because I got swept up at that point. It is the rapture. But as far as I can see, I was by myself at that point, pulled away. So which means everyone else that was there on this little bus or whatever, I can only see one person. It was only one guy that I saw in my dream. But I'm quite sure many got swept away. But when I got swept away and I was pushed downward, I was by myself. So which means there will be a shallow amount of people, 8 billion people out of 8 billion, a quarter of a billion will be raptured. A quarter. So you do the math. And I'm saying that because I asked the Holy Spirit already about it. So many won't be caught unaware. They'll just be caught in disbelief. Because they thought it was Pinocchio. They thought it was Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. But I'm telling you, it's coming. And when that happens, the Holy Spirit have mercy on your soul. But I'm not going to run this video too much longer. I'm going to say, learn to love each other like you love yourself. Learn to forgive and let live and let go. And don't listen to the naysayers, mockers and scoffers. Take everything you need to know to the Holy Spirit. I've been given multiple confirmations, multiple. And when I sit back and think about and look at how much I've been told and given, I shouldn't have to keep questioning over and over again about being human. That's what we do because we've been set for disappointment. Most of us for all our lives, and some of us only for maybe 20, 30 years of our lives we've been set for disappointment. For me, I've been set for disappointment since the day I was born. And like I said, I'm nobody. I'm nobody special. And I don't think I'm better than anyone. But be good to each other. Like I said, for anyone who shall find this book, spread this information. going to say bye for now until the Holy Spirit has something for me. There was something I was dreaming about this morning, but I didn't really sleep. I laid in bed multiple hours. I stopped watching Joshua video. It was around 12 something to 1 o'clock when I watched it, because I had spent most of my day doing Khalil's, most of my day doing my daily commune with the Holy Spirit. I'll just put it like that. You may not understand what Khalil's is, but my daily commune with the Holy Spirit. And I watched the video, and I couldn't sleep on it because I was up all night, all morning. And I think maybe I dozed off probably around 6. But I'm gonna leave this here. So until next time, guys, be careful. Stay aware, stay alert, and stay away from the gossip. Refrain from becoming emotional with those that are talking bad. And also, the one that spoke to the Holy Spirit, well, the Holy Spirit spoke to him and told him to look at the Gregorian calendar and the other calendar, I'm not sure, but the one that Jesus was using, or Yahshua was using at that time when he was on this earth. Even though I didn't see his video, even though I didn't lose faith, I might have broke down on the 23rd, but by the 24th, I was back at it again. I was back doing the videos. I was back saying that it's going to happen and nothing nobody going to do about it. It's going to happen. So I still held on to my faith that it's going to happen. And I encourage what people that did watch my video and what people that did subscribe to my channel, I encouraged them. If only I can encourage one person each time I do a video, I'm okay with that. I don't need a multitude. I just need to encourage one out of that few. And I've done what I was supposed to do. Give encouragement and tell them to hold on and have faith, because that's what was told to me by the Spirit. I'm going to leave it here. Till next time, the one out.